Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of QuattroQuattroDos. Once again, this is your boy Christian, and today we're doing something special. We're doing something a little bit different because the Premier League is back, probably, if not the best league in the world of soccer, obviously. It's coming back to the world. The 2023-2024 season is coming, and we decided, and by we, I'm talking about me, myself, and my brother, actually, Nicolas. We decided to make some predictions, and then maybe, just maybe, we're going to try to keep up with the Premier League, try to keep up with some of the teams that we like, try to keep up with some Argentinians, try to keep up with some American players in the Premier League, and try to bring you a little bit of information, a little bit of insight, or a little bit of shit talking from us to you. So let's begin with the beginning, which is Nico. How are you doing? Welcome to the goddamn show.
Okay. I'm doing good actually. I'm actually looking forward to the Premier League starting because it gives me something to, it gives me my personality for the next 4 or 5 months until Christmas time. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. It's been a boring Saturday, so it gives me a reason why my wife is gonna get mad at me every Saturday morning, saying you always have something to watch in the mornings, or how come we never do anything? So.
There you go.
Uh,
Well, hey,
so
that's awesome. Good to hear. Good to hear that I'm starting some family issues already. You've been married for a couple of years now. Y'all just got a house together, and you're gonna be fighting for soccer. So that's awesome to hear. But so some of the things that we want to give you, like tell you guys what we're gonna do is, so with Nico here, we kind of have a little format. So this first episode, we're just gonna do predictions. We're basically are going to tell you guys the first four, basically the Champions League spots, who we think are going to go to the Champions League to begin with. And we're going to pick the three that we think are going to get relegated. As you guys know, I'm an Aston Villa fan. I don't know if Nico claims anybody yet. And if he's willing to claim somebody in front of everybody here, we'll ask him here and say, here, let's go ahead and ask him right now. Nico, do you
oh,
claim anybody or not?
now, I was gonna say, Everton. No, I'm just kidding. No, I have no idea. Be honest, I like how Brighton plays because Brighton has been one of those teams I like. It's methodical how they play. It's like if you play FIFA, that's how you want a team to play. And yeah, like they have their ups and downs. But I remember like last season they played against Liverpool, and I was like, man, am I watching like Liverpool get scored by like? Am I watching Brighton play like Liverpool? Even though like I never heard of Brighton before, and I'm like, okay, maybe Brighton. It's like my team for now.
All right, well, there you go. So Nico is going to be following Brighton. Obviously, I'm going to be following Aston Villa. And then I think what we're going to do is not once a week, but every week we are going to watch a Premier League game that we think is going to be interesting to watch. And, we're going to give our little kind of like what we think about the game. And then
Yeah,
we're just kind of give our thoughts in the week, all the matches that are coming up. The good thing about the Premier League is that it's very organized compared to other leagues in the world,
yeah.
and they are very consistent, right? So at least one of the things that we can kind of look on or look forward to is that at least the Premier League has some consistency. Ooh, that's a hard word. Consistency to it, and we're gonna be able to kind of keep up with it a little bit more, right? So let me pull up. I don't know, Nico, if you have pulled up the Premier League table from last year.
Oh, from last year.
League
Yeah, I do
table from
actually.
2020, 2023. So we're gonna look at
Yeah.
that right now. Let me just kind of give you guys what it looked like. So as we know, Manchester City was the champion. They beat out Arsenal in that race towards the end in the last 4 or 5 weeks. That's when Man City kind of crowned
Let's go.
themselves as champion, right? So we had Man City, Arsenal, Manchester United, Newcastle, which was another team that kind of was nowhere to be found, and then that Saudi Arabia money came through, that Middle Eastern money came through. I think Saudi Arabia came
That
through
oil money.
that oil money, and now they're up there. Then you had Liverpool, Brighton, who both are going to the UEFA League. What's it called?
The Champions League or
Uh,
the Europa League?
the Europa League. That's what I was trying to get to. And then you have Aston Villa, who came out in seventh place, sorry, and we're also going to your European competition. Sorry, but is the Europa Conference League. So, it's not as prestigious as the Champions League or the Europa League, but it's still a European competition. So, shout out to Aston Villa, who has been kind of growing little by little. I mean, it's a historic team, right? But little by little, the last few years, coming out of relegation to the Premier League, and now competing for a spot on the top. The three teams that got relegated were Leicester. Late, do you know how to say that team? Leicester City.
Leicester.
Leicester City. I always have an issue with it. Leeds United, and then Southampton, who basically were terrible, right? So those were the three that were basically kicked out. And I guess we can start with our predictions. Do you want to start from the top or do you want to start from the bottom? Do you want to?
I think
pick
that
your?
actually let's do bottom up. Because like you want to start from the top, at least like kind of build it up a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So I guess for me, I guess like I was just doing this right now. I think the team, unfortunately, they're like the team the drama team, if that makes sense. Like they just came out of like the lower divisions, the low that like I want to say Division 4 or 5, and all the way to the top now. But I think Luton Town has more, like they're biting more than they can chew, if that makes sense. Like I think Premier League competition is way too up there. I want to be proven wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like I would love for them to like stay up a couple years or more, like just build themselves up. But I think doing a little bit of research or like here and there of what kind of team they are, and they're mostly like they don't have a lot of financing. So maybe we have another Saudi guy just throw money in there, and then Luton Town is going to be another Newcastle and be able to stay for a while. That's my number 18. So my number 19, I think Sheffield United, they just got promoted as well. I mean, similar situation. Uh, I really didn't hear much about Sheffield United, but I think it's gonna be a similar situation. And I think the number 20th team, hopefully I don't have any haters coming along from the club, but hopefully they can prove me wrong. Hopefully my predictions are all wrong, and then just like some random teams that were like, what just happened? I want to say, I mean, I was debating between the Wolves because they kind of sold a lot of key pieces, and I mean, I'm kind of sad because I like the Wolves how they play. Um, I was debating between the Wolves, Nottingham, because I hadn't really heard much of Nottingham, and I don't think they did pretty well last year. I think they're also
Well,
fighting for that relegation spot, but they got a new goalie, so
let me
they got
let me
Matt
throw this
Turner.
in there. Let me throw this in there because actually Luton Town, Nottingham Forest, and Sheffield United were the three that were promoted.
Okay.
So just to kind of put it out there.
Okay. Never mind. Never mind. I know there was another team that just got I think it was Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace had the Costa Rican goalkeeper, if I'm not mistaken. I
Uh,
don't know. I've watched random games like every once in a while. I was like, this is going on.
and we're clueless. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's what I
No.
said is wrong. Burnley got promoted.
Burnley
Luton Town and Sheffield
and Sheffield
United.
United.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is how we know we don't know shit.
Yeah, so I was like I had to like compare the two tables. Like
Yeah.
I think so with that being said, hold on, let me go back to 2023 and 24 seasons. I think I'm gonna be give Bernie the benefit of the doubt. I think if Matt Turner could like show up in Nottingham and like block everything, I think oh shoot, I had it on. Dang it. I don't think Everton's gonna get Everton always pulls through at the end. And that's one of the things I noticed. Like there was like those teams that randomly pulled through and like managed to stay up top. Probably like Fulham. I'll give it to Fulham.
Fulham.
I'll give it Fulham. I'm not gonna say like the order, but I think one of like those three teams are gonna be the ones that get relegated. So
All right. So you got Fulham, you got Sheffield, and you got Luton Town.
yeah.
All right. Let me give my bottom three as well, and then we can go top four. I think you had really good arguments. I think Luton Town, unfortunately, they're gonna, the dream already was to basically get up there, but I don't think financially and maybe I mean, to get promoted, that's a big deal, right? Um,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, you're the best of the best, kind of like the best of the best, quote unquote, from the championship. Burnley, if I'm not mistaken, was a team that got promoted without going into the playoff part of stuff, right?
Okay.
And then Sheffield United and Luton were the two teams that had to play the whole playoff style kind of fighting games to kind of move up, right? So is it Burnt? Yeah, because Burnmouth is already up. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna go Lentown because I think they're gonna have a hard time as well, especially with the whole not having a giant stadium, all the renovations and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Hopefully, they'll be able to fix it up with the money that's coming in, being in the Premier League. But I don't think they'll last a long time. And then I'm actually gonna go Everton. Like you said, Everton pulled through at the end, but I think Everton has been struggling for a few years now, and they're going to be struggling this year as well, of my opinion. I honestly don't know much about them. I don't know any of the moves that they have made, but in my opinion, I think they're going to struggle again, and they're going to end up going to the bottom. Um, and then the other one, it's going to be tricky because honestly I don't know much of these teams, so let me just go to the other side. Let me look at Bournemouth, where they ended up. Bournemouth ended in 15, Nottingham Forest 16, and then Everton 17. So I think I'm gonna go
Berman.
Bournemouth. Yeah, there you go, Bournemouth. See, this is how we also don't know shit. We don't even know how to pronounce these. So Bournemouth, they lost the last four of the four games out of the last five, and obviously not a great deal there. But I think Nottingham Forest is getting a little, stronger a little bit. Not only in the back with the goalkeeper, with the American goalkeeper, but it seems like they're making some moves to kind of get some players in to kind of fight in that middle section. So Luton Town, Everton, Bournemouth, or Bournemouth, or whatever, are going to be my bottom three. So now we can move on to our top four, which is Champions League spots. I mean, a lot of teams don't usually fight there. Just to kind of kick it off, the top six, it's a thing. You have Man City, Arsenal, United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal are the top six, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Tottenham, I don't know. Who knows?
No, Tottenham did make it at the end.
Yeah, no, they're pretty trash. But
Yeah. Yeah.
there's always at least 6, 7 teams fighting for the top four spots. Sorry. So that's gonna be a really interesting kind of fight always at the top. But usually there's only two guys that kind of fight it up top for the title, and then the
Yeah.
rest, just for Champions League spots. But go ahead, take it away. Give me your top four prediction.
Okay. So I like Arsenal, but I think top team is gonna be Manchester City. They haven't really changed much. Their team, they're pretty solid. I mean, I don't think they had any like new like if they had they actually sold players that just kind of didn't. I mean, it's a bloated team from my perspective, but I think it's still a great team. I call it the best team money can buy, if that makes sense. Like I'm not a big fan of big money teams, but I like the fact that they play well because that's how soccer is supposed to play, or football, or whatever you want to call it. Um, so I think that's gonna be the top one on purpose because I think it's still they still have that hype and like they just won 3 trophies. Like I was like writing my notes. It was like they won the Champions League, the Premier League, and the FA Cup.
Yeah,
They
a lot of
just lost
trophies.
like good Community Shield, but I'm like, okay, like how many people watched that game? I think I caught it like right at the end, or like I watched the highlights. So it's and they lost against Arsenal. So maybe Arsenal has that chip on their shoulder that wants to get up top, but if they have another choke season at the end, then they're not because they were pretty solid up top. But I think Manchester City is going to be first. Arsenal is going to be second. They got a Declan Rice and they got Havertz, but I haven't really seen them play that much. So for now, I think yeah, those two. I think Newcastle is going to be number three. If I'm looking at the table from last year or last season, they had Manchester United. I don't think Manchester United has much. I'm ready for the Heat. That kind of why saying that, but I think they I think Newcastle has reinforced themselves a little bit more, and I think they also want to they're playing the Champions League. They want to be show off that they got the money for it now, so it's like they want to show off. And number four is gonna be tricky because to me, Liverpool plays really good, but they didn't do well. Like I don't think they're gonna go up top the number four. I'm stuck between Manchester United, Liverpool, and Aston Villa, and probably Brighton. And I'm gonna throw Brighton in that mix because Brighton can be like, okay, you need to win this game. This is an easy team, and then they like disappointed me a couple times. But I think between those four, I think the one that has been more solid, especially at the end, was Aston Villa. Because whenever Unai Emery came, they had more of a winning season than they did before. So I think he improved it a lot. And I think Liverpool is still kind of developing. Even with McAllister going in, I think he's gonna do a lot of change, but I think it's a transition period. Manchester United, I don't know. I saw some of the preseason games; they weren't that solid. So, and the only one that was solid is between Aston Villa. Brighton wasn't that solid, but Aston Villa was more solid than Brighton. So that's my perspective. So Aston Villa would be number four, Brighton probably number five, and I would say Manchester United number six, and Liverpool number seven. I could be
Yeah.
wrong though.
So you got Villa number four?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't even have Villa number four, but that's what's up.
yeah.
All right, so yeah, okay. Just to kind of go through, Nico, give me your top four, just to kind of put them like that.
So Manchester City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Aston Villa.
There you go. All right, let's go with my top four. My top four. I mean, honestly, you gave really good explanations on your teams. I think it's funny that you didn't even mention Tottenham because they're
Oh
always,
no,
they always think they're the best. But they ended up in the eighth place, right, like literally a few points away from the 10th place. You got Brentford 59, and then Fulham had 52. So I guess a kind of big gap there. But my top four, it might be surprising, but I actually have Liverpool fighting up there. I don't know if they're gonna come out first, but I think they'll be in the top four. So I'm kind of on the same boat when it comes to Manchester City. I think Manchester City is also gonna get their team right, and then during the transfer window towards the winter, they're gonna be able to get new players as well. And obviously they have all the money in the world, as you said, the best players that money can get type thing. So I'm gonna go Man City. As honestly, I don't think they're gonna win the title again, but I think they're gonna compete. So I'm just gonna throw them in there anyways. I'm gonna go Liverpool, and that also top four. You said the same thing. You don't think maybe McAllister is not gonna be big enough or maybe vital enough. But I don't know if you heard, but there was some news about Caicedo, who plays in Brighton as well.
Oh yeah.
He might be going to Liverpool as well, and I think those two players were extremely vital to Brighton, and I think they're gonna do really good at Liverpool. Not only because obviously, whenever the quality of players in your team is high, I think you tend to go higher than that, or at least try to match that level. And I think having a coach like Klopp, with who's legendary, and not saying that the guy from Brighton, who I can't remember his name, he's not that legendary, but I think Liverpool is a better fit team to fight a Europa League in the domestic league more than Brighton. I think Brighton maybe it's gonna be a little bit too like short on players in a way. I don't know if you can say that when it comes to kind of fighting up top. And then I'm gonna go Newcastle just because honestly I don't know much about Newcastle, but just the way that they were able to kind of come up from like the bottom spots to the top spots in such a like short amount of time. And not only that, but it's kind of like in the Liverpool deal. Like they have a lot, I mean, not Liverpool, and the Man City money, like they're in the same tax bracket type thing. Like they have all the money that they can get, right? So Newcastle should be fighting up there. And then I had Arsenal as well. Just because Arteta, the coach for Arsenal, he's a competitor, he's a fighter. In Arsenal, it's Arsenal. I guess we could say the same thing about Chelsea, but honestly, I think Chelsea is was trash last year, and I don't think they're gonna be any better this year. To be honest, I might be wrong, I might be right. Who knows? These are just wild predictions that we don't know shit about, right? So those are my top four: Man City, Liverpool, Newcastle, Arsenal.
So you say
So
Liverpool is gonna be second place, or is that like a random? That's your order of the four.
yeah, so that's just I don't think I have an order for my four, but I think those are gonna be my top four. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if you
So
want to do
they
an
could
order or
switch
not.
in and out.
Yeah, I think they'll
Okay.
switch in and out, but I think Liverpool might surprise people. I don't know why, but
I mean,
but
they
I
had
picked
really
them
good
before.
signings.
Yeah,
I mean, they basically got the midfield from Brighton, and that's who I was most excited about. But
exactly.
that's kind of what I want to see what the coach does with with the team now, because like he's missing like his two key pieces, which I mean I don't know. I feel like I seen the memes of like the Brighton memes. It's like they have like scientists researching everything and like for like trying to find like young players that could play in the Brighton system, and then they buy them from like 5 million, and then they sell them for like 55 million. So I don't want to say they're like a farm. I mean, I don't want to insult Brighton, but that's what it seemed like.
I
But
mean,
yeah, I
some teams
agree.
are like that though. I mean, some teams are known for like pumping out players and
Yeah,
kind of feeding the big player. I mean, the big teams. I mean, because you're never gonna see. I mean, I'm sure that there's a couple guys that come out the what's it called, the academy teams, right?
yeah,
But how many players do you know from the Man City academy? How many players do you know from the Arsenal
yeah,
academy? I mean, there's some obviously. Like
yeah.
I'm not saying there's none,
No, no, there
but
are
they're not
like
they're
you
not
could.
really known. You know what I mean?
I mean, there are. I mean, you have Bukayo Saka, which
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
came
There's
from
a
the
few.
academy, and then you have that one guy
Rowe,
from Manchester City. You could like name each player
exactly.
basically, like if you do enough research, and I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't think like Brian does like research kind of deal. Like they go like have scouts, and then like this player is going to be the next shit. So
Nice.
get him before like when he's cheap.
Is there kind of moving on from this?
Yeah.
Is there any teams that you're kind of looking forward to kind of just see what they're about? Like for example, let me give you my example. The whole Burnley thing, just because Burnley, like one of their owners is a football player, here in Houston, or ex-football player JJ Watt. He's very famous here in the United States.
Yeah.
He's super super known, Hall of Famer and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And he bought into Burnley, and honestly, I mean, we see how much the premier, not only like the Premier League, but the sport of soccer has grown in the United States. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of wild to see how much it has grown in the last few years. And you see more like American investors and more American
Oh
owners.
yeah.
And Burnley, for some reason, maybe it's just because of a local thing, having JJ Watt kind of be a local
An
guy
owner.
and
Yeah.
be there. But I think he might be. I mean, Burnley might surprise people. Who knows? What do you
Well,
think?
I mean, it's also they. I mean, looking at their last season, they had 101 points, and I think the next closest was like 91. So they
Yeah,
kind of like
they were the best team in the Premier in the Championship. So
yeah, and I know it's like a different like level of playing, but you
yeah,
never know. Maybe they also got to. I mean, I'm not saying they probably give the same coach, and the coach knows how to like play in different windows,
yeah,
different like arenas basically, or different like teams, or they were just it's gonna be a flop, and then they're gonna get a new coach, and like I'm also like I want to see what Loon Town is all about. To be honest, like yeah, you like the underdog story, but I also want them to do well. I mean, they seem to make it out of nowhere. I think that's gonna be one. But I mean, to be honest, okay. So what was the question again?
there's basically something that you're looking forward to watch, like Lone Town.
Town. I think Town because it's like the drama. It's like the kind of like oh my god, it's like the seat like you're watching a new series kind of deal of like
Yeah,
of a show. So it's like the new season came out, and you're like, okay, I want to watch Town. How do they do? I think
yeah,
that's gonna be a new one, especially like I want to see like I want to see Manchester United play in their field. Like
yeah, yeah,
that's gonna be trippy. I wish like one day I have enough money to go and see them like in that field.
yeah.
like record everything. But I think Luton Town's gonna be it's a new experience. I think that's the catch.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do predictions for every week. How do you feel about that? Maybe
All
not
right,
every week, but
like fixtures
uh,
or
yeah,
like
like
the
fixtures, like who's gonna
okay.
win, who's that,
All
or do you want to do
right.
that, or is that too much?
No, we can do it. I mean, I don't got
All right,
time. I'm sick, so it's okay. I'm not gymming.
match week one.
I have the calendar. Do you want to show the calendar
Yeah,
or
we'll post it up. We'll post it up on the video, or at least
okay?
the games.
All right,
So actually, the week begins. We're recording on a
tomorrow.
Thursday, but this will be out on Friday most likely. So it starts today at 2 p.m. o'clock here Central Time in Houston, and you have Burnley, the newcomers. They're going against Man City. What do you think about that?
Uh I'm gonna give it to Man City. Let's be honest. There. Well, nah, I'm gonna give it to Man City.
Man
I
City,
was gonna
okay.
say, well, they do play at Burnley, so
Yeah, but I,
uh,
st- I say Man City as well.
yeah,
We won't do scores, but we'll do who wins.
yeah. They just also they lost. I think Man City lost the Community Shield, so they're probably a little ticked off about that. And I
Yeah,
heard the game was dramatic. So
yeah. I didn't watch it either, to be honest.
I'll probably watch that game like tomorrow's game because
Yeah,
I that
it's the only game on that day. So
and it's at 2, so I don't want to work.
yeah,
Hopefully my boss doesn't see this, but oh well.
yeah. Show that to the boss. All
So
right, so we said Man City, Burnley. You win Man City. I win Man City.
yeah.
What about Tottenham, Arsenal, Nottingham
Uh,
Forest,
Arsenal.
Ars. I go Arsenal again. Two.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, or how do you say it?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, West Ham.
I just want somebody to like correct us. Like it's like no, he said it right, or we
Right?
need to get that famous. It's like
Oh,
who said it right?
somebody will for sure.
I want to say Bournemouth. They're playing home, so
All right. You watch Ted Lasso?
I don't have Apple TV. I'm poor, so
Oh, there you go. Nice. Nice.
yeah.
Well,
So.
what the one of the characters is the coach for, like, the arch nemesis is the coach for West Ham in
Oh,
the show.
nice. The new season.
Well, like kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I stopped like
In
after like a couple seasons, but okay.
oh yeah, well, you remember Nate?
Yeah.
Well, he becomes like the arch nemesis.
Oh, that's funny.
He goes to
Oh, West Ham.
to West Ham. Yeah.
I
Okay,
need to
who's
start
next?
watching again.
Yeah,
Brighton and Luton.
Brian Luton. Yeah, Luton time.
I want to say Brighton.
It should be easy, huh?
Brian, they play. I think they play. Yeah, they play at Amex Stadium, so they play at home.
All right,
Um,
so we'll do Brighton.
the only downside is Brian tends to do really well with big teams, and then like, they do okay with like smaller teams. But I think they're good. I mean, they're gonna do well.
All right, who else we have? We have. Oh, I didn't say it. Bright. I think I'm gonna say. Wait. Yeah, I said Brian as well
Yeah,
for sure. Everton, Fulham.
I want to say Fulham, even though I said they were gonna get relegated, but
Fulham it is.
yeah, and they
I'm gonna go,
play. Oh,
I'm gonna go Everton.
Everton.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Sheffield, Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. I'm gonna go Crystal Palace as well. I think Crystal Palace might have something under the
Yeah.
sleeves.
Ooh,
Uh,
this one's gonna be interesting.
Newcastle, Aston Villa.
Ooh. Ooh, and they're playing in Newcastle.
Mhm.
Or do we have to say win or lose, or is it could be win,
No,
lose, draw?
you can be tie.
Yeah, I want to say this one's gonna be a tie
A tie
or a shootout. I don't know.
or shootout like they do now in Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with with the crest, and I'm just gonna go Aston Villa on this one.
Okay. I want to say tie because they're both pretty solid.
Both
I
really
think
good
Newcastle's
teams.
a little more solid, but they got a pretty good midfield defense.
All
Actually,
right, to
forwards are
kind of
pretty good too. So
yeah. Sunday 13, Brentford Spurs at 8 a.m.
Brentford.
Brentford.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Brentford too.
My disdain for the Spurs still firing.
This guy. I don't really hate the Spurs. I just know a lot. I actually there's a few listeners that are Spurs fans, so shout out to those guys. But I don't
I
like
want
Spurs.
I want them to like come in and then like rag on me on why the Spurs are better.
I
But
mean,
they're fun. I had a friend that went to watch the Spurs against Arsenal,
the
and
Spurs got none to kind
they
of.
got annihilated. they got annihilated. So, but
Uh,
also Brentford plays at home. So, well, this
yeah.
one's gonna be a fun one.
What about Chelsea Liverpool? That's a good one right there. Probably the
Yeah,
game of the week.
and it's a Chelsea, but Chelsea has been trash. So Liverpool.
Liverpool. I'm excited to kind of watch Liverpool. Honestly, I mean, I'm a big McAllister guy. I've said before that McAllister is the best Argentinian playing soccer right after Messi. So those are, in my mind, those are big shoes to fill. So
I agree.
when,
I agree.
so I mean, there's other Argentinians, but I think he's the best one.
He's the best
Uh,
midfielder for sure.
I think he's the best player overall.
Okay. Oh, that's
Like,
a high.
yeah, like if Messi wasn't around,
My
because
gosh, I could take
I
that
don't,
role.
yeah, because I don't even think Messi counts, to be honest. I don't think Messi should be counted in any categories of any lists.
Yeah,
He's like forever number one type thing.
it's like God tier and then the rest, and then like we're talking about like the high quality players, basically.
Exactly. Then I would put McAllister there as number one.
Yeah, and if
Okay.
they got Caicedo, it's gonna be like a badass midfield.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. And then to finish off the week, Monday, August 14 at 2 p.m., Manchester United Wolves. Where are you going on that?
Um, I think it's gonna be a tie. I don't think Manchester United is gonna do well. They got like a forward. I was like writing notes. They got a midfielder and a forward, but I don't know if they're gonna be able to produce.
So you're going United?
I'm going tie on this one.
You're going tie. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm going United. Um, just because the Wolves they lost their coach this week,
Never
so
mind.
they're not looking very promising. I mean, last year it was kind of terrible too for them. So, well,
Yeah.
but that's it, guys. That's the predictions that are top four, bottom three, week one predictions. Hopefully, we're not too wrong, and then we'll be back next week to kind of give our what game are you going to be watching? See, I don't know if you're
Well, I'll definitely watch the Burnley game because I'll be at home.
Mhm.
Probably the Brighton game because gotta support. Um, and then if I'm not in trouble, maybe I try to catch the Newcastle and Aston Villa.
There you go.
So, and then Sunday after church, because you got to praise the Lord, I'll probably try to catch Chelsea versus Liverpool.
Nice.
But and then if now I have a meeting on Monday. Never mind. I was trying to. No, actually, I don't. I could catch a Manchester United.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm actually going to the pub to watch Newcastle Aston Villa, so I'll for sure that one.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I have something to do tomorrow, so I might catch the end of Man City. But hopefully we can catch a few games on Saturday. So with
Yeah.
that being said, everybody, we'll go ahead and log off for now. We appreciate the love and support. Don't forget, check out QuattroQuattroDos on YouTube, the Instagram, and the Twitter. Nico, where can they find you?
Uh, I guess Instagram and Twitter. I've been twittering or Xing now because you got to get it right.
Yeah.
I just been like following random people. I just like this is fun, but
What's your handle?
I need to switch it up. It's my Nico Putayas, but I'll switch it up to be Nico Putayas. I thought I was funny, and then it sounds kind of like stupid. So
All right. Well, we'll leave it blank for now, and then we'll see
yeah,
what next week brings us. But yeah, don't forget you can find me at Chris Butaleas, of course. And don't forget if you are in Houston or around Houston, Bayou City Soccer for your soccer needs in the H town in the Space City. So don't forget to check us out. Once again, Cuatro with those, we are out. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye bye.
bye.